We are here.
Howdy.
Yes, indeed, we are here. We are the Godzilla Nerds. I am one of the hosts. I am Donald.
I'm DJ.
I'm Remy.
Yeah, Remy. And we
Graduate.
are the Godzilla Nerds, and we're back with a brand new episode of the Godzilla Nerds 1954 podcast, and we're doing something different this week, out of courtesy for my boy Remy. Today's review, we'll be reviewing the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 film, and I must say this was a pretty good film. We were talking in the chat before we even started the live stream, and we actually talked about the directors, how well the directors and the producers did with this film. Because, like we discussed, when Sonic was first revealed to us, they had it all wrong. I mean, Sonic was 6 feet tall. He looked like a human, and so. But you know what? The people, they heard the people, they heard the complaints, they heard what they didn't like, and the directors and the producers went back and changed it, and they got it right for the people. So before we get into the actual stream, Remy, I want to ask you first and foremost, what made you want to review Sonic the Hedgehog 2?
Well, for me, I really enjoyed this movie. Like the first time I saw it in the theaters, and I really enjoyed the first one. So I guess it was just, because following after what Doris did with Battleship, it kind of like expanded our reach on what kind of movies we could review. Like in the end, we're always going to be kaiju focused. Really, we're always going to talk about kaiju. There's always going to be our genre that we're going to be most affiliated with. But I feel like for this week, I wanted to at least try something a little different. So that way, if people want to go like, hey, can we review like this movie? It wouldn't feel like as awkward for us to do that in the future. So I decided, like, yeah, we'll space out to a different genre entirely in a different movie. So I thought Sonic 2, since it's a movie that most of us have seen, and it's a movie that is very dear and near to one of our members, Serge, right there for your brother. So I thought that it would be a good movie to like check out and kind of like discuss a little bit, because it is a movie franchise now that I actually am interested in, that I actually find enjoyable, and I am intrigued to see where they go in Sonic 3. So
well, I definitely agree with you there. This is a franchise that I definitely like following and will continue to follow as long as they continue to make Sonic films. And I will say this, I think when this film was created, this film was looked upon as mostly for kids, but I also think it's for adults too, because we grew up on Sonic, right? With Sonic, we had the video games. Sonic, he had all kind of accessories and things of that nature. So Sonic's been around for a really, really long time. And I remember being at my grandma's house and playing Sonic on the Sega Genesis. So my introduction to Sonic was I was playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I was playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and that's how I got my introduction to Sonic. Here is Godzilla Train. He said, "What's up, fellas? Can't stay tonight. Don't want any spoilers on this. Love y'all, fellas. Congratulations on the graduation, Remy." All right, Godzilla Train. Peace out, brother. We respect that. And whenever you watch the movie, let us know your thoughts and let us know what you think of the film. So, Remy, I want to go ahead and start off with you. I want to ask you, what was your first Sonic experience? Like, what made you fall in love with Sonic?
That's a little tricky. So for Sonic, I wasn't really like, I would say like a huge fan of it. I saw a little bit of it when I was little, and I was like, man, it's kind of cool. Like I never really played the games before, but there was a little something cool about it. Like I remember I used to like watch like small clips of the series Sonic X when I was little, so I remember that. And the video game Sonic Unleashed I followed a lot when I was little, just because I thought I liked where Sonic, like the transformation, the werewolf transformation they had for him. I know some fans hate that, but to me, it's a little nostalgic for me because I used to watch a lot of those gameplays when I was little, so I had a little affiliation with Sonic. And then when I heard about the movie, The first one, I was like, nah, not really on board with it because of how much they butchered a lot of the other movies, like Alvin and the Chipmunks, and
Right.
like those movies were kind of like offsetting for me, especially since Sonic is a video game movie, and video game movies to us have always been known to suck and be garbage. So I was not really looking forward to the first movie. I was like, this is gonna be another garbage dumpster fire of a movie. And the first trailer with the first design, I was like, yep, there you go. Our suspicions were right. It's gonna be god awful. But then a few months later, they said, "Now we're gonna change the design," and I went, "Oh, okay, that's new. Well, okay, I'm on board with that." And then I saw the new design for Sonic. I was like, "That looks a lot more closer to the video game." So then I thought, you know what? Because that they were able to listen to the fans and actually like delay the film and rework it, made me have a huge respect for the team that was working on that movie. So I went, you know what? I'll go see it just because you guys were able to actually redo the design and listen to the fans, which a lot of movie studios sadly do not. But in this day and age, a lot of movie studios are starting to get that memo like, hey, you know what? Maybe let's not piss off our main demographic and actually do something they would like to see. So for that, I went to go see Sonic, the first movie, really enjoyed it. And then with Sonic the Hedgehog 2, I got a little bit more excited for it because they were bringing in the other characters like Tails and Knuckles, and they were going a little bit more out there with the Master Emerald and starting to stick more to the game lore. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like at first, I didn't know too much about it, but I knew just enough to be interested enough to go see Sonic 2, and henceforth, I enjoyed it, so that's why we're reviewing it today.
I will say this, Remy. There's a couple of things that you touched on that I agree with. For one, the producers and the directors, they definitely did a good job of listening to the people, listening to the fans. And I always said when a movie like this is being done, whether it's Godzilla, whether it's King Kong, whether it's Marvel, DC films, I want them to get directors that are super fans who knows about the backstories of the characters, who knows about the backstories of the superheroes, like who knows about the comics, because I think they'll bring the best out of the story, out of the picture that they're trying to paint. And
Yeah,
so with this Sonic universe, they've actually done a really, really good job because, like we talked about before, Sonic 1 was good. And they exposed us just enough to keep us tuned in, to keep us saying we want more. And they did their job. So I thought they did a great job with the first Sonic. And then they come along to second Sonic. And now this one is just, it's super amazing. My kids love it. I love it. And like I said, growing up on Sonic, I mean, I played Sonic 2, and from there, I always love Sonic. That's one of my favorite video games of all time is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So I definitely agree with you there, Remy. And as far as expanding, the expansion on these movies that we're doing is great. Obviously we've made our mark, we've made our stamp that we're Team Kaiju, but we want to expand. Give people some other things to look forward from us about, and that's what we're doing. Um, so DJ, before we move on to the second question, I got to ask you, first and foremost, what was your first Sonic experience? What made you fall in love with Sonic?
Um, Pardon me, finishing up my dinner.
right.
So my first introduction to Sonic was actually back on the old Sega Genesis system. I didn't have the system myself, but the pastor at the church that I was going to at the time, his family did, his kids did.
Mhm.
And so whenever they would have like a youth get together at the house and stuff, sometimes we'd be allowed to play the Sega Genesis and stuff. And so I would try out the Sonic game, and I sucked horribly at it. Couldn't get very far. Like, I get tripped up too easily and stuff, but it's because I rarely got to play it. So, but I appreciated the aspect of the game because it was different from like Mario and some of the other games, the Mega Man and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
It intrigued me. And then Remy, you mentioned the Sonic X cartoon. I pretty much watched that series pretty regularly when it came on and really enjoyed it. and I stumbled on to like an older one, I think, which was Sonic Underground. And that one was that one was weird.
They got a few of them on Netflix.
Yeah, but the Sonic X was a pretty good. I felt was a pretty good series. I thought that they did a pretty good job with that. So even though I never really like played the games, I appreciated, like I said, I appreciated the mythos for it. I appreciated the level designs because I mean when you come to platform games, you're used to just running and jumping and stuff like that, and that's it. There's really no, you might have like a dash or something that speeds you up or whatever. But Sonic is unique in the fact that it was like roller coaster, roller coaster tracks. That was the layout, So, so it's definitely I appreciated that fact that like not only do you have to do the normal running and jumping, but you also have to figure out how to take advantage of all the loop-de-loops and the ramps and everything else to hit everything that you need to hit and survive. And like Remy mentioned, when the original trailer came out with the original design for the first movie, I was like, yeah, that's not going to do too well. Not looking good, fellas. But like Remy, I was one of those ones that said, when they came out and said, hey, we're redesigning it, we're going to push back the release date, we're going to do right by you guys. And then they showed the first images, and it was straight out of the video game, straight out of the anime, the Sonic X and stuff. I was like, I'm there. I'm going to be there as close to release date as I possibly can and help help them get their numbers. And then Jim Carrey did a really great job as being Dr. Robotnik.
Awesome actor.
He's such a good character actor, and and the role was perfect for him. It reminded me back of back in the day when he did The Mask and First Ace Ventura and stuff like that.
Yep.
Like that's what I really like seeing him, doing the goofy stuff, and that his little dance sequence with his evil song and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like, that was fun.
And the ostrich goat milk. Of course, I want a latte. I love the way you make them.
So yeah, the fact that they did such a good job and the cast did such a good job, drawing a blank on his name, but the main human actor.
Oh, Tom.
Yeah, I can't remember his real name, but to have to do so much with something that's not actually there,
and have feelings.
Yeah. And reminds me of Bob Hoskins when he had to interact with Roger Rabbit. It was really, I thought he did a pretty good job. So, so it definitely made me interested to see where they went with in the series, especially since they had Tails as a teaser at the end of the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that.
And what's nice is they opened it up the same way.
Yeah, they didn't change it.
Yeah, they didn't change his entrance, which was great.
Also, it is the guy who plays Tom. The main human is James Marsden. That's what I was trying to remember. That's the actor's name. Cyclops from the X-Men series.
Yeah, I was going to say Cyclops. I'm like, no.
Both of you guys touched on some pretty unique dynamics when it comes to Sonic. Because that's my experience with Sonic. Like I said, my first introduction to Sonic was Sonic Adventure 2. But he's always had the coolest soundtracks. He's always had the coolest level sceneries. And like you said, DJ, the game is just unique. We see roller coaster tracks, super duper speed. He's got these unique monsters. And then you got a boss like Eggman, who's literally in every stage doing the best he can to try to stop Sonic. So
never works out.
Never works out. So it seems like we all had a pretty unique entrance to Sonic. So that brings me to my next question. We see a lot of characters from the previous film, and in the new film we have Dr. Robotnik. This is Knuckles' entrance. We have Tails. We have Sonic. We even have some good human characters because it was a great human story, a great plot. Actually, it was great balance between the human and the actual characters between Sonic. So, Remy, what I want to ask you is, which character in the Sonic the Hedgehog film was your favorite, and share your personality?
Oh, oh, easily. Knuckles was my favorite character in this movie. For me, Knuckles steals the show because I just love the way Idris Elba like played him in this movie as like kind of the fish out of water, like Sonic was.
Yeah.
Sonic wasn't really the fish out of water in the original because he was on Earth a lot longer than Knuckles was. But they did a good job with playing Knuckles as like the guy, as this guy who hasn't been to Earth at all, so he's trying to get used to the customs. But they don't make him a complete idiot. They still give him like
Right.
intimidation factor. Like the first scene where he shows up, and I love that shot where I love how they like use the ball again, like in the first movie. Because in the first movie, you see that ball that Sonic rolls into manages to literally destroy Eggman's like hovercraft, whatever, in the first movie.
Yeah.
And so for the sequel to come in and for Knuckles literally to just like hold it back like it's nothing for him really shows you that, oh, this is different. This is a threat now. And the way he just like knocks Sonic down on the ground. Like I love that shot because this shows it like gives a good sense of power, a power scaling of between Sonic and Knuckles. That Sonic may have the speed, but Knuckles is like more of the strength and more of the power side of the Sonic universe, and they do a good job with it. Sonic's design, I mean, Knuckles' design is really good in this too. Like they did a good job bringing him from the games into this universe, and I really liked him because I guess like a personality trait that him and I share is that sometimes we do harbor for a connection because like he kind of harbored for a connection because I remember the line that really hits with me is when he goes like, how come like you were alone and you lost everything like I did and yet you seem so hopeful and free, like how did you manage to do that despite failing again and again and again and again. Like I really like that scene because I kind of connected that where I kind of suffer a lot from like negativity and like thinking on the negative side of things. And Knuckles kind of does that too, where he's been alone for most of his life and he just sort of seems grumpy and sort of seems like lost and just trying to stay on like one course. So for him to finally at the end, like find a new tribe, like he says, and like gain new friends and new responsibility really connects with me as he himself can look on the positive sides. And I kind of connect with that because I want to hang out with you guys, I'm hang out with my friends and my family. Like it really puts me in a better mood and makes me not think so negatively on life. So I kind of connect with him on that level.
Yeah, that's a pretty good answer, Remy. I'm really digging that. You got a shout out from Skeleton. Skeleton, what's happening, man? Say Remy.
I think that might be my friend Kyle.
All right, Kyle, if that's you, what's going on, brother?
That's you, Kyle, respond back. If not, what's up, Skeleton?
I will say my favorite character from this film, and it's actually going to be opposite the line that you used, that Knuckles was speaking of to Sonic. Sonic is obviously my favorite character because I think he's just such a fighter, and I think he's been through so much in his life. He's still been able to overcome and overachieve. And Sonic likes to see the good in everybody, and he loves helping everybody. I mean, like even then when him and Knuckles had the riff, it's like he almost sent some good in Knuckles. Like, look, I don't really want to like fight you. You know, I really want you to understand what Eggman is doing. And Knuckles, he's new to this. He's never really had nobody. So anybody that's willing to be with him, he's going to accept them. Because, you know, when he was little, he lost his tribe pretty much. And so now him and Eggman's on the quest for the same thing, but Eggman doesn't mean him no good. And because Sonic's been dealing with Eggman for so long, he knows what Eggman is up to, and Knuckles doesn't. So the manipulation that Eggman displayed on Knuckles was really just a trick to get over like he always does, try to get one up on Sonic, and he knew that Knuckles would take on Sonic. So I would say Sonic, just based off of his heart, based off of his will, and his determination. So I'll go with Sonic in that regard, and I love Knuckles, by the way, too, man. Knuckles was awesome in this film. What about you, DJ? Which character from this film is your favorite?
I really, pretty much on the same page as you. I really enjoyed Sonic himself, um, for a lot of the same reasons that you expressed. Um, no matter how much he's beaten and knocked down, he still keeps getting up. He still keeps fighting a good fight. Um, he still keeps thinking about others before himself, even when he's doubting himself. Um, so it's a really admirable trait, and I appreciate that they did that with him. That they kept it, did so well that, um, because I feel like there's, and granted, I don't watch everything that's out there on TV and stuff these days, but I feel like there's not a lot of that for kids to see, and it's something that's important for kids to learn.
Yeah.
Like no matter what kind of adversity you face, don't give up. There's always something better to reach for as long as you try. And it might take longer, you might get it sooner, but it's an important lesson. Like don't give up, no matter how rough things are. Um, and especially with everything that's gone on in the last couple of years, I think that was, really good for them to show, because I mean, there was quite a few times in the movie where it looked like he wanted to throw in the towel and just give up and just like lay there and be done. But he's like, no, I got to keep going. And I appreciate Tails' part in that too, because like his innocence and his admiration for Sonic helped to, remind him of what his true purpose is.
Yeah, how it is to be a hero, really.
Yeah, because Tails had an admiration for Sonic, and I thought that was important. And like you said, DJ, you made a really, really good point when you was talking about how the film, how the film was able to, put that kind of structure in this movie, because you're right, we don't see a lot of that today. Especially for kids to see Tails admire Sonic, but at the same time give Sonic encouragement, give him confidence. Because Tails was like, I watch you just run super fast. I've watched you save the world. I've watched you save people. So it's not like you can't do it because you're capable. Or even when Sonic had to face his fear where he had to run across the water, he had to give it everything he got. And even when it looked like he didn't make it, when he woke up, he was right where he needed to be. Yeah. So that was a really, really good point, DJ. Really, really good point. But to me, this film, it just had everything. Like everything in this film was right. And this is definitely a film I could watch over and over with no problem.
It's very watchable.
So this was an awesome film. Question 3. This is going to be an exciting question. I can't wait to hear what both you guys have to say for this one. I'm not sure, Remy, how far you go back in Sonic, but I will say, what was your favorite callback from this film? Which callback excited you the most? Because we see a lot of callbacks. We see the rings. We see Knuckles climbing with his fists. Right, we see that. I'll say that we see the Master Emerald, the Chaos Emeralds. We see Super Sonic. I'll say my favorite callback is when Eggman had the Death Egg. Right, I remember getting mad fighting him on Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and when I saw that was cool. I was like, and I told my kids, I'm like, that's the Death Egg. So and they've watched me play Sonic a couple times, but they never seen me like actually get to the boss and face him. So I was like, yeah, that's the Death Egg from Sonic 2. And that was major to me because I was trying to figure out, I knew Eggman was the main boss of the film, but I guess I was trying to figure out like which way or how would they take him down. So when they came with the Death Egg, I'm like, okay, this is a huge step up from when Sonic fought him in the first film that you referenced, Remy. So it's like I love the first film was made just perfect, and then you come in Sonic 2 and they're fighting the Death Egg, and now all of them are working together, and Tails is trying to hold up Knuckles. So that was my favorite call back in the film when they had to face the Death Egg.
Donald, did you throw the cup did you throw your cup at the screen when the Death Egg showed up? Like, you again?
Yeah. I got excited. Like, I knew right then when it showed up, I'm like, that's the Death Egg. I'm like, yes, this is perfect. It is perfect. So that's my favorite callback.
Yeah. That's cool. For me, I guess my favorite callback is probably, I know it's gonna sound weird, probably like the drowning, I guess. Because a lot of the Sonic lore I hear is that Sonic is a terrible swimmer. And so I kind of chuckled a bit when I first saw it when he was like in the water going like this. Because I remember that's the exact animation that he does in the games where he's like bobbing up and down in the water. So I was like, oh, I get that reference. And then at the end too, where he's like, water again? Why? Like, I like that because it does remind me of a lot of the memes and a lot of the jokes I would see of Sonic was always that he was not a good swimmer, that he was basically going to drown, and the music that would play too is like like it would be that kind of music that we play in the background when he's about to drown. So I kind of appreciated that little reference to it.
That, you know what, Remy, that's not as bad as you think, because if you also pay attention to that, he sucks that bubble up. Yeah, that's how you stay alive underwater on his game. And I was like, when he sucked that ball, I'm like, okay, they got everything in this.
Yeah,
they got every single thing. One part I did laugh at when Sonic tried to throw that ring at Tails and Eggman came out of nowhere. He was like, later, hater.
Slow motion catch it.
Yeah, that was awesome. DJ, what about your favorite callback? What is your favorite callback from this film, and which one excited you the most?
Well, the biggest one of all, the hover pod. They got it to look like the game.
Yep.
Like in the first movie, he had his weird jet hover thing. Yep. In this one, they brought back his hover ball thing that he is always floating around in, and you always have to keep smashing into, and he somehow manages to keep it together in the video games and fly off. So I really appreciated that because they could have done something different, came up with some new vehicle form or whatever, but they made it.
I was expecting a giant wrecking ball to come out of it. I was like, where's the wrecking ball to show up? Where is it? Start going side to side, because I remember seeing that one time. I was like, what is that?
Yeah, it was when Eggman had the Chaos Emeralds, and he was like, my game is next level. He told the guy to have a seat, and the guy kind of squatted in the air.
I was like, in the chair. I remember
Jim Carrey did an unbelievable job, and he really helps make this film, because I think he captures Eggman so well.
Yeah.
And even with the callbacks, there's so many callbacks in this film where Eggman's got the mustache, right? He comes back with the mustache. Even when they were in the snow, he's got that reminded me of Sonic Adventure. He has the snow levels, the snow scenery when him and Tails is out in the snow, and then like even when he loses his coins, his rings, and when he loses, I'm like, man, this movie had every single thing. Or what's the I can't remember. I can't think of the black lady name. When she had Tails' gun, she was like, and the guy was scared.
Rachel.
Yeah, that was awesome. So, like I said,
real.
It is. and I'll say this, and what I admire about Tails is Tails is cool. Tails got some cool gadgets. And I'll tell you what, Sonic is blessed to have somebody like Tails, because Tails, and they even had the airplane. That was awesome. So
they brought in everything in this. I remember seeing the trailer. I'm like, wow, they're bringing in everything in this. Let me guess, is Shadow going to show up?
Right. So it's like the more and more we're talking about the film, it's like the more and more things that we're thinking of.
Yeah, because it's just so much that they crammed in this.
Like,
what I'll be interested to see is if they bring in Amy.
Oh yeah,
and how they play that out.
Save that thought.
I feel like
save that thought, DJ.
I have a question for that. Sonic 3.
I got
some stuff. I'm trying to guess for Sonic 3 is going to happen. I'm like,
I got a question. I got a question for that. What's going on,
Alex?
What up, Alex?
Before we move on, I wanted to say, in regards to what you were saying earlier about Knuckles, Remy.
Yeah.
The way that they portrayed him reminded me a lot of how Drax the Destroyer was in the first.
I was just about to say that.
Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, DJ. Go ahead.
You know, just like not quite getting the references that everybody is making. Like he understood the language, he understood the words, but didn't understand the context of it. And so, you know, I was half expecting him to say something like, you know, I could catch anything, or you know, whatever that line was.
Yeah.
You know, nothing goes over my head.
Nothing flies over my head. My reflexes are too fast. I would catch.
Alex said, he said, nice comparison. And while we're talking about the comparisons, when I first seen the trailer to Sonic 2, and I see that Knuckles makes his appearance, I knew right then that Eggman had tricked him. Because I have Sonic Adventure. He does the same thing as Sonic Adventure. He brings Knuckles. When Knuckles is actually waiting for Sonic, you complete one of the levels, and then when you go find Tails, Knuckles actually charges at Sonic, and Sonic jumps out the way. And you know you have to fight them, and after they fight, they run into each other, and then they both drop the emeralds, and then Eggman shows up. So I was like, they're doing this right. It's almost like they've been watching the games, the backstory. Yeah. So that makes it all unique as well.
To bring that point up, Donald, when you said that it reminded you of the game's storyline where Eggman tricked Knuckles, I learned about that from the trailer from watching everybody like analyze it, where they brought up that story where Knuckles was actually tricked. I was like, oh, okay, because I was wondering. I was like, I know Knuckles is like a good guy, but are you gonna like make him start off as like a villain and then like slowly work his way into like a new movie where he's a good guy? But then they told me that, I went, oh, okay, so now I know what to expect.
Yeah, I think even in the original video game series, like, because Tails was introduced in Part 2, I believe. And then Knuckles started out as a villain in Part 3.
Yeah.
And granted, I'm not too familiar with all the lore, but that was my understanding. And then, through whatever happened in that video game, they became friends. And that's where you get Sonic and Knuckles.
Yep.
And so.
Sonic, and Sonic, and I was just about to say that Sonic and Knuckles. I have all those Sonic games. I just love Sonic, and even then, like his levels is actually harder than Sonic's on Sonic and Knuckles. Knuckles levels is a lot harder
because he's not as fast as Sonic, so you have to like.
You have to float through things. So, I'm serious, man. You gotta fight Eggman. Yeah.
I was expecting him to glide in this movie too. I was like, are we gonna get gliding Knuckles? It's like, but I was actually surprised they made him have super speed in this movie. I was like, oh, okay, that's new, because I wasn't familiar with Knuckles having super speed.
And I think one thing that they showed Sonic's how superior he was. Sonic's never had the training that Knuckles had, but he was always a step ahead of Knuckles. Knuckles has the strength, but Sonic, he's Knuckles trying to punch him, and Sonic's just kind of moving like he's in Dragon Ball Z or something. Yeah.
It's literally, I know. That's literally what everybody said when they saw that. Like, oh, Dragon Ball Z. I'm like, yeah. There you go.
Better Dragon Ball Z than Dragon Ball.
No, better than Dragon Ball Evolution. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's what I meant.
So we'll go. Wait.
That's our next review, DJ Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh man.
Just really.
Wait. What is your favorite scene or scenes that take place in this film?
Oh, to me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely gonna go with scenes because there's a lot in this movie that I really enjoyed. Okay. Almost every fight between Knuckles and Sonic was beautiful. Like, not just like it was just really well animated and very colorful. It's like I love the contrast between the red and the blue energy that they both had, and specifically I like the second fight that they have, and I love that clash that they both have, where like they both have their elbows like right next to each other. I love that face off, and then Sonic just starts throwing punches at him. I'm like Sonic is punching. What is happening? Like I love that. And I love that scene too, where freaking Sonic, you see him like glow up behind the waterfall, and then you see him like go past Knuckles and climb up and start hitting them in the ball form.
That's one of my favorite scenes.
That plays with it. I was like in the theater. I remember going like this in the theater when that music played. Okay. Oh. Okay.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I see it. I see you, Sonic. Like, wow. Okay, we're really going hard with this. And of course, I love the I love the first part where what was it? Where Eggman shows up at the Mean Bean to Age of Stone, and I just love that little like interaction between them, and I love Knuckles just going like crushing his hand, and Eggman just goes, "That means he trusts you, Stone." I like that scene. And I do like the scene where Knuckles and Sonic, have like that little talk between each other, and that's when they decide to team up and become friends. And of course, I love the Super Sonic as well. Like that scene was just awesome, and I love the way when the Death Egg threw that punch and Super Sonic just like stopped it without even like flinching like, midair. That was clean. I was like, oh yeah, you're done. Yeah, this is it. Goodbye, Eggman. He just kicks him over. Whole head just slid off. I was like, wow.
Hater.
I love that too, where like Sonic just like taps it, and Eggman just goes, "Oh, so it's like that? Fine then, we're not friends." And then he walks backwards.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's a couple of scenes in there, like Super Sonic, right? That's a major callback.
I was surprised about it actually.
Yeah, me too. I was like, okay, we're getting Super Sonic.
Yeah.
And then not only Super Sonic, because I always thought Super Sonic was introduced in Sonic Adventure, but he's always been in the older Sonic games. Because you had a Sega, you couldn't save on Sega. Either you got to beat it or you're not going to beat it. But like I said, the Death Egg, I really enjoyed them incorporating the Death Egg in this film. I also enjoyed the part where Sonic kept throwing that sand at Knuckles, and Knuckles just said, boom. I
love that scene too.
That was awesome. Even the scene that you said about when Sonic was drowning and he got that bubble when him and Knuckles unite. The first encounter that Sonic and Knuckles have, and Eggman is like, where are my manners?
My man.
Oh, man.
He introduced Knuckles. Popcorn in the background.
Oh, yeah.
And then like when they explode, the thing goes flying, and he's like...
Hey, until came in the clutch, he hit Knuckles with that car. Boom!
That made me laugh. I'm like, wow, Knuckles has got himself taken out by a freaking cop car. How about that?
And when Sonic goes in the waterfall, I love that because Sonic got his butt kicked the first fight, but this time Sonic is like, I'm not messing around. He was
serious this one,
and it's like Knuckles couldn't do nothing because he was just going.
Yeah, because he was in slow motion, exactly.
And he watched Sonic just run across, and then Sonic just rolled up, boom, boom, boom. I was like, yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome, and I love the callback with the Master Emeralds. The cow. Alex Allen said he liked the part with the popcorn too.
Yeah, that was funny to me. I was like,
yeah, that was really, really awesome. What about you, DJ? What was your some of your favorite scenes from the Sonic 2 film?
So obviously the big fight with the Death Egg, at the end, him finally going supersonic, and them teaming up, and just that whole sequence was really good. I appreciated the mountain scene with them going into the lodge and trying to play off as like human kids and stuff at first, and how everything unfolded there, and then
Surge.
I'm sorry, guys. I have no idea what my kids did to my laptop.
Now you're good. At least you're here. That's all that counts.
Damn straight. I had to make it for this one. Shoot.
I know. It was like, oh, come on, Serge. You can't miss this one. This is Sonic.
Hell yeah.
Look at that.
From my friends along.
I came prepared. Oh, the Metal Sonic. Nice.
Forgot.
Oh, I should have brought all of my Sega Genesis
Oh, that's
games.
cool.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, that's cool one, DJ.
Oh yeah.
So
what did I miss?
A couple questions.
everything.
A lot.
Everything. In the stream right now, Serge. How dare you? Nah. That's right.
Terrible.
I do have things to do though.
But DJ, you want to finish your point? You finished.
Yeah. I also like the whole maze part.
Oh, that was cool. Yeah.
Them, figuring out how to navigate through it and everything. And so yeah, I mean, the whole movie was just really good.
The whole movie, the Sonic just ran through the maze.
Yeah.
But I do like how Eggman did teach Knuckles, like, you have to be patient. You have to, pinpoint where traps and things could be. I thought that was cool. So that was really, really cool. And even just watching this film, it was almost like a joy. Like, I told my kids, look, this movie's not just for y'all, this for me too. See, it started with me. Y'all new to this. I've been doing this, but it was awesome film. I definitely enjoyed this film. Well, sir, since we got you on here, now we can ask you, what were some of your favorite scenes from this particular film?
Some of my favorite things?
Yeah, some of your favorite
scenes. Yep, some of your favorite scenes from Sonic.
Oh yeah, well, the maze. The maze was awesome because it was just like, oh, I see so many different zones in this, and so many callbacks to, Labyrinth Zone and so many other things. Really old school stuff. So I loved that for sure. I think most of my favorite scenes came in the latter half of the movie, as well as the ending with Supersonic was.
Yes.
Awesome. Just awesome. That was super, super cool. And I don't remember if there was any kind of, for all the Sonic fans, when you hear that the Emeralds are going to be in this movie, I think most of us thought, oh, well, are we going to see their super forms? But I don't think you ever got that hint or that nudge from the advertising.
Yeah.
So when Supersonic came out, it was just dope. It was just super cool. It was like the one time that I've been in a movie and like people actually started clapping. So yeah, that was awesome. Those scenes in particular, and particularly the fight between Sonic and Knuckles in the Maze of Labyrinth.
Oh yeah.
Love that scene.
Yeah, that was awesome. All right, so this is one of the questions I've been waiting for. Remy, I know you're gonna be excited about this one.
This is Sonic 3.
Yeah. So, Remy, name a character you didn't see in Sonic 2 that you would like to see in Sonic 3.
Oh. Can I pick a character that we did see in Sonic 2 for like a brief second that I would like to see?
Yeah. No, this is your answer. Give whatever answer you feel.
Okay. Well, obviously, one of the characters I really want to see in Sonic 3, we know we're going to see in Sonic 3 is Shadow. Shadow the Hedgehog. Oh, I literally could not stop clapping when I saw it in the theater. I was like, I think the only person clapping when I saw that. I was like, Shadow! Like, I got excited because Shadow is a really cool character, and and it's awesome that they're going to bring him in live action. Because if you heard from the director about the third movie, he said the third movie is going to be a lot different. It's going to be a lot darker because Shadow himself is a very dark character. Like, he has like a very dark background.
Right.
Backstory to him. And unlike Knuckles, he's not going to be like won over by the power of friendship and not being lonely, because Shadow
He's
just has
smart.
yeah, because Shadow just has so much hate in his heart towards humanity that it's going to be hard for him to like change his ways. Like I feel like
You might see Maria.
what
You might see Maria.
we might see. Yeah, I'll be surprised if they pull off that backstory because I know that could be a little like dark for kids. So I wonder how they're going to pull that off. They might wove it, make it a little bit more PG oriented,
Yeah.
but.
Yeah.
If they do that, I wonder how they're going to pull it off, though, because that backstory is pretty dark, the way they portray in other media of Sonic. So I wonder how they're going to do that.
Yeah,
Go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say that the way that they revealed him made it seem like he had been on ice for a long time.
Yeah, 50 years.
Yeah.
Because that's also in the games, too, I think, where they do say that he's been hidden in there for at least 50 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this. I'll say this. You're definitely right. Because I know we're going to see Shadow in the film, so I am curious to see if we're going to see Gerald Robotnik, because he's the one that actually creates Shadow.
Yeah.
So that's Dr. Robotnik's grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
So in the games, they actually show bits and pieces of Gerald Robotnik. Two other characters I would like to see is I wonder if Chaos is going to be in Sonic 3, and not only him but Metal Sonic. Maybe Shadow turns good, and then they have to take down Metal Sonic. So those would be like the three characters, and I would like to see all of them. Big the Cat, Amy, E102. I would like to see him. Like, dude, there's so many characters. Rogue. I would like to see Rogue. Like this, man. I'm fanning out right now, man. I have just too many people I want in this film. And
I agree with you on that, though. I would like to see Amy and Rogue show up in this one because Rogue, I think, actually is connected to the gun because I think she's like an assassin or like a mercenary or something like that, and she does have connections with Gun Force. So I like to see her brought in Shadow somehow. What'd you say?
Because I said she tricks Eggman. Because Sonic Adventure 2, you have to play with the good side, and then you can play with the bad side. You can play with either or first, but then in the end, they all work together because now the whole Earth is in danger. So they really have no choice. And so, but those are the characters I would like to see. What about you, DJ? Which characters, name a character you didn't see in Sonic 2 or characters that you would like to see in Sonic 3?
Yeah, definitely would be interested to see their take on the robotic Sonic, Metal Sonic.
Yeah.
And then be interested to see how they portray Amy, because like my only experience with her was through the Sonic X series, and she was always so lovey-dovey towards Sonic, and like kind of always leaning on him and stuff, and if I'm remembering correctly, he always was like trying to sidestep her and be like, we're friends and that's it. Kind of keep away. And then she had her little temper tantrums and would pull out the big sledgehammer mallet thing and smash everything.
Yeah, she definitely fights on was it Sonic Adventure? You don't play with her on Sonic Adventure 2, but she's in the game. But in Sonic Adventure, she does a lot of fighting. So I'm with you there, DJ. I want to see how she's portrayed in the film. Maybe she doesn't do as much in this film, and then all of a sudden she just steps up out of nowhere and plays a major role in helping them defend Earth. So that's a pretty good take, DJ. I like that a lot. My man Serge. Go ahead, Remy. Go ahead.
Plus, I think it'd be funny just to see this version of Sonic have to deal with a crush. Like maybe they kind of reverse it where he's the one who actually has a crush on her. So that would just be funny because in this version, Sonic is a lot more of like a little kid.
Calm down there, Remy. Calm down.
I'm like, hey, no, don't put that on me. Because like Sonic at this point, I think is like 14 or 15. So they could like probably age him a bit, maybe in Sonic 3 or keep him the same age. But I don't know. I feel like they could do some stuff with him and Amy, and again with him and Shadow. Like Shadow
do a good job. They did a good job with Sonic's personality. They have done a great job with his personality. I've definitely enjoyed it. Like I said, he has a humorous side. Then he has his serious side, and then he has a side where he wants to help. He wants to see the good in everybody, like we talked about earlier. Like he really does enjoy saving the world, and you can really see his hate. His relationship reminds me of Tom and Jerry. That's how Dr. Robotnik and Sonic is. They're just like Dr. Robotnik keeps trying to catch him, and he can't. And he may, get him down once or twice, but Sonic will ultimately come back and do what he does best, and that's defeat Dr. Robotnik. Serge, you tell me, name a character you didn't see in Sonic 2 that you would like to see in Sonic 3. It could be character or characters, it doesn't matter.
Well, the one that after this movie went down, I thought, oh man, the ones that I would like to see, or the ones that I figured would becoming next for Sonic 3. Now, I have to give some slight background. So, like DJ, slightly older crowd. So, my experience with the Sonic games, they are my favorite game franchise. They always have been. But after like when the 2000s hit, I really wasn't playing video games anymore. So because rock and roll became life.
Respect.
So basically, like my last Sonic video game, the newest Sonic video game that I had played was Sonic 3D Blast and Sonic R on the Sega Saturn. So like all these other
remember the Sega Saturn?
Like
I had one. I had a Sega Saturn when I was little.
I had two for some reason. But yeah, so I don't have any experience with a lot of these other characters that I know are out there. I know like my daughter likes to watch Sonic X sometimes, and sometimes like the Bat, Rouge, right?
Yeah,
and then like some of these other characters, and I'm kind of like, who the hell are these people? Other than my other main experience with Sonic is the I was a huge fan of the Archie comics. I have most of them actually from back in the day. So for me, when I think of characters that I want to see next, I'm thinking Metal Sonic from Sonic CD, and I'm thinking like the Chaotix, because that was the time period that I was really into that stuff. So for me, Metal Sonic, the Chaotix, especially now that we got Knuckles there, it seems kind of like, well, you gotta have Vector and SBO and Mighty and Charmy, all those. Here, look, I'm gonna show you guys something. Oh, this is old stuff. Look at all these.
Oh wow! Oh, that's impressive right there.
Yeah, I got way back, man. I think I even have like Sonic number 25 in here. That's how far back I go.
That's awesome.
I do like the art style of those comics. I've seen some images of them. I do like the art style they go with.
Oh yeah, they're super good. There's like one in particular. Oh, this one, real old school.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Oh wow,
What is this? 54
Sonic Sat AM characters right there.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah. And I know, and that's one of the things I was thinking when you said, "Well, which characters would you like to see?" For me too, it's because I religiously watched Saturday Morning Sonic. Would be like Sally and them too, but I don't know how that would fit in this universe. This universe seems quite a bit different. So yeah, I don't know, but I'll stick with Metal Sonic and the Chaotix.
Yeah.
All right, so we're down to 2 more questions. Then we'll wrap everything up. So the first question, Remy, that I'll have to ask you. How did you feel about the post-credit scene involving Shadow?
He hated it.
Well, of course, yeah, DJ, you're right. I hated it. I thought it was completely dumb, completely nonsensical. No, I'm kidding.
Remy walked out.
I walked out. I went, no, I'm done. I'm out. We're done. But no, I was excited because Shadow to me is like one of those characters that I do really like. He's literally the Vegeta, I guess you could say, of the Sonic universe, where he always tries to one-up Sonic, and yet somehow Sonic always comes out on top. And as much as Shadow hates Sonic, he still has to team up with him a lot of the time. He's like, fine, I'll team up with you. And just one. It happens again and again and again. Like, I really enjoy that factor of Shadow. So I really do like the way it was set up. Like, I like the fact that Stone is still there, so that kind of like leaves a hint that maybe Eggman is not dead. Maybe he's still alive. Like, I hope so that Eggman comes back.
He's alive. Yeah, he's alive.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, they keep during this movie's run, they kept bringing up that Jim Carrey kind of said that he was done with acting after this movie, that he wanted to retire. So,
Jim Carrey?
Yeah, I know, but there is several lines to this. He did say that he would be willing to act in Sonic 3 if they put him in the fat suit, if they actually make him look like Robotnik from the games. I'm like, do it.
That's what I want. That's what I want.
It's gonna
happen. I'm in the fat suit, damn it. I want to see him in Sonic 3.
We'll make it
yeah, please.
Doris will make it
that's right. I will say this.
Doris can make, yeah, exactly. Doris can make it.
So when I did the post-credit scene, my kids were actually more excited than me. Like, I was excited. I was like, okay, bam, we get a Shadow. That's what I'm talking about. My kid stood up. My youngest boy, he stood up. It's Shadow. As soon as the post-credit scenes end, this is what he tells me. Can we watch Sonic 3? I'm like, Sonic 3 ain't out. We just watched 2. What are you That's how bad he wants to see Shadow. Like, after the movie was over, he was like,
hey, I'm with your son there, Donald. I want to see it now. Give it to
me. Sonic 3 is not out right now. And I enjoyed their reaction. And like we talked about earlier, the way that they did this movie, because video games often fail at making good movies. And I'll say what's even more impressive, when you have a sequel to a movie, normally the sequel doesn't do as well as the original film. And the sequel achieved the first Sonic by far to me. And the first Sonic was good. And so that was another impressive thing about this film. But to keep not only, people who grew up on Sonic connected with the franchise, but now the kids is into the Sonic franchise. My auntie took my nephew to go see it. Even my auntie said the movie was good. And I couldn't believe that because she hardly goes to the movies. And when she does, she falls asleep. So she enjoyed it. So, but I definitely enjoyed the post-credit scene with Shadow. I was like, yes, we're getting Shadow. And so I thoroughly enjoyed that. What about you, DJ? How did you feel about Shadow being introduced into the post-credit scene?
I was pretty happy to see it. Because it opens up a whole new window of opportunity for the series and everything. And I went to the movie with my sister, and she was a little confused about who he was. But if I remember correctly, so
like me,
I had to fill her in as best as I knew, which isn't very much because a lot of my knowledge of these other characters comes from the Sonic X cartoons.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I was pretty happy about it. And as we've been talking, I've come up with a question for you guys with regards to this movie.
All right.
So after Serge answers, if it's cool, I want to.
That's cool, DJ. That's cool. Go for it,
Absolutely
Serge.
Not.
You heard
it was worth a shot.
Serge's word is law around here.
All right. Well, how did you feel about the post-credit scene involving Shadow, Serge? What was going on with you? How were you feeling?
I mean, like, I knew DJ. I'm on the same boat with you. It's kind of like I know who that is, and that's about it. So I mean, I just thought to myself, like, okay, cool. Like, let's see what happens, because I don't know. I don't really know much about him. Other than he's not the nicest guy in the world, I think. So I figured. So the way I see it is like, oh, awesome! Like, Sonic's gonna have a killer nemesis in the next movie, which I'm down to see.
So you and DJ got some homework to do whenever y'all get a chance.
You.
YouTube
some stuff about Shadow.
YouTube Sonic Adventure 2, and watch the gameplay, and it gives you a backstory of who Shadow is, and you'll get more connected and more familiar with Shadow, because he has a connection with Dr. Robotnik's grandfather.
Yeah.
So that's who created Shadow. So it wasn't Dr. Robotnik, it was his grandfather Gerald Robotnik.
Yeah.
So they have a pretty nice story in Sonic Adventure 2. And I can send you guys the link for it. So it'll kind of give you a great idea of who Shadow is. But DJ, go for your question, brother.
So my question that popped in my head is, what was your guys' thoughts on the human storyline in this movie compared to the first one? So like Tom and his wife and like all those characters.
I'll say this: I'm more familiar with Tom and his wife. I believe that's his wife. I'll also say this: it seems like the world is more acclimated with Sonic now, right? And I think they're getting used and accustomed to it's more creatures like Sonic, because now you get Tails, and now you get Knuckles. Because I mean, towards the end of the film, they do save the day. And so I think that's one of the biggest things that I pull from it. And then from 2, it's a lot more character development and more of a story in this one, because it's a lot more characters. So I definitely enjoyed the plot of the story. I love the characters, especially when it was at the wedding and he had the wrong ring.
Oh yeah,
I love that part.
Oh,
that was and he just hit him, bam.
Guy. He threw the ring. He's like, give me that. Yeah.
And when he threw the ring, you see Sonic and Tails coming in on the avalanche, and that was cool. And you can see that Sonic's family really care for him, and so it took him a while to even get acclimated with Sonic when he first met him. So that's what I pulled from the story and the plot of Sonic 2.
Well, for me, I think the human story in this is fine. Like, I think it's good enough. Like, I actually do really like the fact that they kind of make the human characters a little more goofy to go alongside with Sonic and his pals. Because let's be honest, because like I do like that aspect where they don't make the human characters like super serious and stone faced. Like, no, they have their little comedic quips and stuff like that. Like, a lot of their jokes actually kind of made me chuckle and laugh in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I did like the fact when the guy showed up, Tom just goes, Olive Garden guy.
or when Rachel's husband approached him, and he was scared.
That's right. I actually do like that scene though, where she asks like, "Is everybody here an agent?" And the priest opens up that book, and he has the gun in the Bible. That made me laugh.
That was great.
Like, what? I was like, what? And I do like the fact that they bring in the gun forces in this too, because again, in the games, Gun is connected to Shadow by being the organization that I think was responsible for the killing, I think, of Shadow's creator and what was her name?
Yeah,
Maria.
Maria. Yeah.
Yeah, they're responsible for that, so they kind of like kept Shadow under wraps from there. So I do like that aspect of it.
I think that's Gerald Robotnik's granddaughter, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so too. Or that might have been. Yeah, I
think that's his granddaughter.
Yeah, no, I don't think that was granddaughter. I think that was actually his like real life daughter.
Real life daughter. Okay.
Yeah, I think that was his daughter. I believe. Again, I have to refresh myself on the Shadow lore.
And before you go, sir, I will say they did a great job with Eggman, because Remy, you talked about how the characters are not super serious, they're not stone faced. Like Jim Carrey brought the perfect personality to life with Dr. Eggman. Like, not too serious, not too playful. We still know his mission is to take out Sonic. That's what he wants to do. But he's gonna do it his way. And he's going to do it in a fun way. He's going to do it in a cool way. And that's what I really loved about this film.
I was surprised that it still made him kind of intimidating, though. Like, when he got the Emerald, I was actually a little bit scared of him. I was like, oh, he's getting serious. Exactly. Level.
Next.
I love that scene.
I don't know. I always laugh when he grabs something. That's cool.
Himself.
Oh man.
What about you, Serge? What did you think of the human plot in this movie?
I think, I mean, like you said, it was fine. It wasn't distracting. I did think that the wedding, that whole like wedding scene, and like plus that with the human characters, I think could have shortened that just a little bit. I think that was the only time in the movie where I was kind of like, well, starting to wonder, like, okay, well, what's happening next?
Yeah.
That's really it. I think what makes the human story okay and like fine, like it is fine, is the characters themselves. You know, like the human characters that they have are cool, like they're funny, and then we had them in the first movie. So I think that's one of the reasons why it works. If it were, other actors that maybe didn't do as well of a job, and then maybe we would have a little bit more something to say. But I think because of who they chose, it works, and it's good. It's not really any kind of point of contention with the movie or anything like that.
And the film had a great balance. It had a great balance. That's what helped too. It was great balance between Sonic and Knuckles and Tails and Eggman, and then you have the human character. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and then it's a different movie, like than the first, because Sonic is with other alien characters or whatever, as opposed to the first one was, Sonic essentially like tagging along, or Tom like coming along for the ride and everything too. So it's a different movie, and there really wasn't a lot of human story apart from Robotnik, which was integral to the movie. We had to have it, and that was very, very good. So apart from the other characters, they really didn't have too much time. So I think that made it good too, because like for the movie for the most part sticks with who it really needs to stick with: Sonic and Robotnik, Tails, and Knuckles, and everything.
Yeah.
All right. Final question that we do have, and then we'll wrap it up for tonight. This has been a really, really good discussion. I've enjoyed discussing this film with you guys. So final question is, Remy, out of 5 stars, how would you rate this film? I'm gonna give it a 5.
You're gonna 5?
I'm gonna give it a 5. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5.
I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
Okay.
Just because I think that the fight between between I'm already thinking about Shadow. He's already on the mind. But between Sonic and Knuckles, the second fight, I feel like could have been stretched out just a tiny bit more, because I thought like it ended a little bit too short. Like as much as I love that fight, as much as like it was cool imagery it had in it, I just thought that it ended just a little too quickly. Like I kind of feel like they could have stretched it out. Well, like the fight, like again, like going off what you said, Serge, I feel like they could have like cut up a little bit of the wedding scene to give more time for that scene. I feel like because I feel like they spent a little bit too much time in the wedding part, that they kind of like had to like not waste as much time later on in the film because they have to stick to a runtime. So I feel like they could have like chopped up a little bit more of the wedding scene and added a little bit more into that fight. But other than that, I still thought this movie was like really good, a big step up from the first movie. So I'm excited to see what they do with Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Yeah, the visuals are really good in this film.
Yeah, and hopefully they can step up from this movie even further. But I feel like, that's putting a little bit too much, like I don't know, hope in the third one, because I don't want to like build it up too much, and then what if it's not as good as the second one? So keep my expectations like level. But again, this movie was still really good, and I still enjoy it. And to any Sonic fan, highly recommend. Like you guys are gonna love this movie.
Yeah, highly recommend what you said, Remy. DJ, out of 5 stars, how would you rate the Sonic 2 film?
I'd give it a 4. I agree about the wedding stuff. Like at some points, it was just kind of confusing where they were going with it, and how they were going to tie it all in with everything else. So, but overall, I really enjoyed it. Definitely looking forward to adding it to my collection. So.
Oh yeah, I had to buy it. My kids. I had to buy it. They wanted it. What about you, sir? Out of 5 stars, how would you rate this film?
I'm gonna go with 4.5, like Remy, because only because I think, yeah, I agree with you on the final Sonic and Knuckles fight scene. I feel like that could have gone on just a little longer.
Yeah.
And my only thing with this movie was that I feel like Sonic's abilities, Sonic's power, his speed. I feel like it can be like a little inconsistent sometimes. Like
Yeah.
I remember the scene where he's running over the bridge, right?
Mhm.
When Robotnik's about to get there with the big old thing, like
Yeah.
that scene, like it's Sonic. Like he should have cruised over that bridge like that, you know. So that's when I was kind of like, you know, and
Yeah.
I felt like there were at times that Sonic should have had a little bit more of an edge, like on Knuckles. I know it's like his friendly nemesis, and you know Knuckles is Knuckles, and he's extremely strong and powerful. But I feel like you didn't. A few moments in that final fight scene between the two of them, you got to see like, oh, Sonic finally used his speed like to best his ability against Knuckles. But other times, I felt like I feel like we should see a little bit more of that. Like I said, the bridge scene. I think Sonic should have been able to clear that really, really fast because he's Sonic, right? But of course, it's a movie, and you know, like they do what they got to do, right? But that's really like my only kind of like on it.
Well, I will say, I definitely agree with you. Now, one of the things I will say about Sonic having an edge, he does let us know in the movie he does have the edge. Actually, when they're in the snow, because when him and Knuckles, because he was like Knuckles was asking why he won't stand still, and Knuckles was like, "I've been training," and Sonic was like, "Yeah, you've been doing all this training," and he said, "I'm still ahead of you." So he kind of lets us know he has an edge, but of course the movie's gonna, you know.
I feel like during that fight too, where you're talking about the edge, I feel like the reason why I kind of give that fight a little bit why it's so short is because Knuckles does state that he's been trained his entire life and he knows a bunch of different combat forms. And Sonic hasn't done that much combat himself, so I feel like the reason why that fight is kind of short because Knuckles has a little more like familiarity with combat than like
yeah, that's what Sonic said. He was like, "You had all this training, and I haven't been doing it at all." And he was like, "I'm still ahead of you know."
Yeah.
and Knuckles was like
kind of cuts a little bit sometimes during the fights between those two.
Yeah.
But I wish that second fight was longer because when Sonic goes in that waterfall and he lights up, I'm like, "Oh yeah, get him, Sonic!"
Yeah, that was great.
That ball like 3 times. I love that shot.
That
and the music
amazing.
too during that scene too.
That was amazing.
That like rock and roll.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, you know what, and that's what I forgot to say. That my other favorite scene, when Robotnik brings Pantera into the mix.
Oh, I was about to say that. That's Pantera right there, son.
Yeah, dude.
Walk.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's one of my favorite bands. So when Sony started doing that, I was like, yes.
I was like Pantera in a freaking Sonic movie. How about that?
Hell, yeah, I know. I started hitting my friends up, and I would tell them my other metalhead friends and telling him like, yeah, you hit me up after the movie. You'll have something to tell me. I know y'all will. that was amazing. That reminded me of the time that I forget which X-Men movie it was. I don't know the names of them. It's like one of the latter ones. Then where they played
so many
Horsemen. And hearing like metal like in a theater like that just sounds incredible. So yeah, so
they need to do that for Godzilla movie. They need to bring in a heavy rock music during one of those fights. If they do that, I'll flip out too. I'm like, oh
yeah.
Well, I enjoyed you guys for another great movie conversation. We had another great discussion. Remy, you picked an awesome movie. Yeah, this was really fun because you can see the fan and each and every one of us. You can see at times how it just brings the best out of us, brings the joy out of us. This was a great movie review. Excuse me. I'm not sure who turn it is to pick.
I don't
Well,
remember.
Nick is not with us right now.
Yeah.
Doors is not with us right now.
Is
Um,
the Surge after me?
well, no, Nick did pick because Nick we did the what was that movie?
Dragon
D
Wars?
Wars,
Yeah.
and then
DJ picked.
DJ Archer Man, then Remy.
Oh, I feel
So
like it's
Surge,
Oh,
Surge,
Is it me
you're
or
up.
you, Donald?
You're up, Surge. You up?
Oh, it's me?
Yep,
Oh,
you're up.
shoot. Ooh.
I mean, we got you on the spot right now, but if you want to hold off,
Oh yeah. Or no.
yeah, I did the Mount Rushmore. After
Oh,
I did
that's
the Mount Rushmore,
Oh,
Nick did
that's
the.
So yeah, so I guess it is Surge's turn. Cause Surge, yeah, that's right.
Okay. I think I know what I want to do.
What you got?
What's you got for us, Surge?
What you got?
Oh, let's do it because I haven't seen that one in a while.
Another Ray Harryhausen?
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the host.
Okay.
Oh shoot. Okay.
There you go.
Ooh,
All right. So
I was
you
watching
heard
that
it
one the
here.
other day and I didn't get a chance to finish it.
that's a rough one right there.
What are we doing? So we'll really be going in a different direction with the host. So this is awesome. I'm liking the versatility of how everything is going. It's been great. So it looks like we're gonna have another great discussion next Thursday at 7:00 p.m. Central Time. We will be reviewing the host. This pick comes from our guy Surge, and we'll be excited about that. And those who was in the chat tonight, we thank you for the support that you show us. We thank you for watching, tuning in, and listening. We're always grateful and thankful for that. We have a Facebook group. Oh, go ahead, Remy. Go ahead.
Thing next week too, we will be. I think it's about time. I think we will be doing. If we can, we will try to do the game that I've been saving up for a while because I know we have gone through a couple episodes about the game, so I'm like, oh, we might as well get back. So hopefully Nick can join us next week. If that's the case, that's awesome. If not, we'll go through the game and hopefully it can still be fun.
Yeah, we'll go through the game and we'll have some fun with that. We always have fun with the game. We have a Facebook group. You can find us at Godzilla Nerds 1954. You can also find us on Instagram at Godzilla Nerds 1954, and you can follow us on YouTube. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. And you can find us at YouTube at Godzilla Nerds 1954. So we're the Godzilla Nerds. I'm one of the hosts. I'm Donald.
I'm DJ.
DJ.
Again, I'm Remy.
Remy.
And this guy just graduated.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm
Remy
finally
has graduated.
out of high school. I'm finally free. Now on the college.
That's right.
He's
That's
all
right.
that. And I'm Serge.
All right, man. Peace out, guys. I love you guys. Yeah, have a blessed night.
Long live the king.